shodo-x!
Hey guys, welcome to the 16th episode of the Soto Pop Podcast. I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
Hi! Hi.
Great! It's Malunis again, and we have a special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself, my man?
Hello, everyone. I'm here off the streets, joining you to talk about candy toy figures tonight. My name is Will Coe.
What? Okay, I know you're trying to sound like one of those sultry DJs on the but you sound like a dirty hobo, especially since you just said
that's because I just came off the street. That's the bit, Corey. Thank you very much.
Great, you're welcome. So yeah, we've got Will here today from the streets, doing a little cross promotion. Not that we don't already.
That's what we need to do more of.
Yeah, we've never had a guy from RRR The Streets on this podcast before.
Oh yeah, definitely not. But hey, as you saw in the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about the new YU-DO stuff from Ryusoul, as well as the Soto updates on the news blog, and then we're going to dive into sort of Will and how his relationship with Soto, and then after that, just some other topics, some recent acquisitions on my end, and Malunis has a few things he wants to share about,
hands.
Sort of,
About hands.
About hands. All right, we'll leave it at that.
Get a little handsy later on, but don't worry.
Let's get handsy. So, let's just dive right on into the news. Coming out swinging, we've got Ryusoul Gold in the YU-DO line.
He's so gold.
He's so tan.
It's just like his suit.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the thing for the news this week. Because we got Grand as well, and that dude's looking hella tan.
I love gold.
I love gold.
So, yeah, we got Ryusoul Gold, and he's basically got the same sort of peg and hole layout that the main cast do. In the initial blog post I put up, I erroneously said that the pegs are new on his shoulders. That was incorrect. The pegs are the same as the regular release figures, so presumably you could put this on the other guys, provided you can take off the wrist-mounted morpher on them. This guy's going to be released with presumably an accessory pack. They showed off the gun and the sword and 2 gold hands, which is great. As well as a combined weapon for the strong dragon dress that he sports. What is that power up again?
Armor?
It's just one of the... Yeah, I mean, it's just one of the armors for the... I think for his second mecha. Not the big whale-looking one, but the second one that he has.
Yeah, it's kind of along the lines of the Dima Volcano power-up.
It's basically a remold of that.
Pretty much.
Except that one's coming out first.
Yes.
So you were saying that, as far as we know, it's just the figure and a bunch of armors? I mean,
so far,
there's probably some grunts in there, because they've got vinyl figures of them.
That's true.
Yeah. But like... It's like I was saying before, it seems like, especially with the way they set up the Rangers in the show, and I've seen more episodes, I can confirm this, it would have made sense for them to just do, Wave 1 is red, blue, and pink, and then Wave 2 is black and green, then Wave 3 is where you get gold. Just kind of split up a little bit.
That way. Yeah, but, I don't know, the way that they release is sort of more, because I feel like the main line is the mini plot, and then this is sort of like the EX. This is sort of like the Ride Plus to the, Super Mini Plow line.
Yeah.
So I feel like it sort of makes sense that we don't always get these.
Yeah, it's just, I guess it's because of how often Writer does it. It's just like, why isn't Sentai, like, doing this too? But yeah, that actually does make sense. I think we were talking about that at one point before with action figures. I don't know if this was on the episode with the candy toy figures or if we were just talking off mic, but I had said that it seems like action figures in Sentai don't sell because the mecha are like the main focus.
Yeah, that's been the case for far too long, and I'm glad that YU-DO's sort of hopping in here and being like, hey, we exist, we can exist, and we are kind of getting a little more popular, so buy more of us.
I wonder if they have the ability to do what Ultraman does, where they can just be like, hey, here's a wave that has some of the monsters.
Oh,
because that's the thing that Ultraman does differently, is that it has much more emphasis on making like vinyl figures of all the monsters.
Yeah,
but vinyl is, I feel like, a lot more forgiving on molding and tooling than these guys are.
Because I also just realized, and probably some of those monsters wouldn't work as articulated things.
Yeah, probably not.
It's why SH Figure Arts had the statue line.
Mm-hmm. And this figure does the unique thing that I haven't seen Soto implement. I've only seen it once before in YU-DO with the Mook, but for his sword-like knife weapon, he has the two little half pegs on either side, the top and the bottom, and you just sort of like friction peg it in. And it sort of swivels on that axis. Oh, yeah. So that's neat.
But that's actually interesting, because Soto has tried doing something like this, but with multiple parts.
Yeah, and I see it working here, and I wonder why it's not implemented in Soto at all,
I think it must just be a case of different designers with different mindsets.
That's fair. Probably. Yeah, that's true. Because YU-DO, while it has some of the DNA of Soto, it feels functionally different.
Yeah, like just looking at the way the hands are positioned, it definitely looks like these two different lines had the same idea, but they did them a little bit differently.
Yeah. It's kind of like copying off of someone's homework and then two people having slightly different, variations of it. I'm enjoying this. I like it. I got the first set coming to me soon, so once those come to me, we'll probably talk about it on the podcast. Outside of that, there's not much else to say here. They didn't really add too much else in the blog.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward to seeing what else is in this wave, because outside of a Mook or something and some armors, I don't know what could be like added here. Like, there's no Rangers, there's no other.
I did mention the vinyl figure lineup they have here with the random grunt. I also realized, Geysorg or Geysorg.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Probably.
Yeah, that's
that'll
true.
make the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like they're. I haven't seen the latest episode, but it seems like they were really setting him up as a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and plus he's getting his sword released separately pretty soon, so I have a feeling they're going to push a little bit more of the merchandising for Geysorg this time around.
That makes me wonder, like, just random aside, do you think they're... Because I saw someone say that they might be doing the Kyoryu Gold sort of backstory for him, but do you think that's possible he's just a separate character?
I think it's possible he's a separate character, yeah.
Just the fact that they released the sword now just makes me go, you've got plans for this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, on top of that, I wouldn't mind having, tons of duplicates of Geysorg, just because I'd wager that a lot of the coloring is gonna come from stickers for that guy.
Probably.
He's just mostly silver.
Yeah.
And, he looks basically like a Ryusoul. So it would be kind of cool to have a bunch of like in suit Ryusouls, if that makes sense.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I see potential there that I really want to
for
tap
you
into.
to just go crazy with and buy way more things than you actually need. Yeah.
Of
definitely.
course,
absolutely. Just paint them all red and have them doing their tribal dance.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
Have them dancing around. That'd be perfect.
Mm-hmm. But like it's also kind of it's weird to me that the Ryusouls are only getting like their sort of regular candy toy and just the gimmick release when like I would like a figure of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's precedent for it because they appear in CGI form.
Yeah, and like it's been some of the best CGI this show's done. So yeah, that's that on the YU-DO side of things. We also got our regular soda release.
Kai soda.
Sorry, I gotta make it like the streets while I'm here.
Of course, yes.
It's just part of our bit. We gotta come in, gotta be loud and obnoxious and honk my horn in your face. It's part of my brand.
That's what we do on the streets. Yeah, we honk our horns on the streets. Make sure people know that we're there.
Yeah.
So, know who else is here? Friggin' Grand Geo.
Well, I was gonna bring up Kai Soto first. Because
wait, what?
Kai Soto.
Kai Soto.
Yeah, what was it saying about it?
Let's see. That is scheduled for a June 24th release.
Okay, so that's about a month from now.
No, it's a couple days from now.
June 24th is tomorrow.
Oh!
Or no, technically that means it's out in Japan now.
Right, that's... Yeah. Okay, I'm a dumb boy. I'm the dumbest boy in school.
Dumbest boy in school.
To be fair, I looked at it and went, "Oh, that came out this month, huh?"
Yeah,
because I wasn't really paying attention because, like I said, store exclusive, not really personally interested.
That's true. I feel like these will be pretty easy to track down on Mandarake though, given the track record of most like Aeon exclusives. I can't call them all Dai Soto now because this decided to change the name. So Aeon exclusives. I guess keep your eyes peeled, and also slightly related on keeping your eyes peeled on Mandarake. I think around the 8th is when Ride 10 comes out, so if you want to get duplicates, especially for WAS, keep your eyes peeled on the 8th-ish, I think. Right?
They included the release date in this post.
Did they really?
Yeah, July 8th.
Oh! Hey! I did it!
Corey's paying attention, guys. Don't worry.
I am. I definitely am.
It's a good time to rejoice.
Yes.
UI!
And stuff.
Yeah.
UI!
So,
anyway, Grand Zeo.
Yeah, Malunis, why don't you give us the rundown of Grand Geo?
Grand Zeo has a lot of stickers that you could probably ignore if you're brave enough to paint it. Although, I will say, like, the gold that they show is a very caramel kind of color.
It is. But to the stickers' credit, like, I know you were talking about the caramel for the plastic, but to the stickers' credit, they look pretty good.
Yeah,
like,
they look good.
There is a layer of depth that it adds that the sort of sculpts aren't really all there for. Like, you can kind of make out the individual poses in the sculpts, and I'm glad that the sculpts are there. Mm-hmm. But like, just that contrast, like the gold on gold is really nice.
Oh yeah.
And then you got that nice black.
Like, I am definitely not bad-mouthing the stickers when I say that you can paint it. It's basically just there's enough there that you could potentially do it if you're, like I said, if you're brave enough.
Yeah. But yeah, I like, this got me really excited.
Oh yeah, like that was one thing I was thinking about recently is, I hope that the stickers aren't going to be that necessary, but it's like, no, they just kind of add a little something extra.
They do.
Yeah.
the worst case would have been flat surfaces with stickers.
Yeah.
That's
true. Exactly. Like, that's what I thought they were gonna do at first, because that just seemed like the easiest thing to do. Like, given the scale of these things, it'd be a pain in the butt to mold each of those guys in their poses. But I mean, I think they, given the size and everything they had to work with, I think they did a pretty bang up job on it. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, like the stickers, you could leave them on or take them off, or either way, I don't think it would take away from the figure. I think it looks fine either way.
Mm-hmm.
And the latest episode just got subbed, so I'm not going to give any story spoilers, but I will say Grand Zio's thing is that he can not only summon other riders, he can also summon weapons. So the blog nicely provides just a wild collection of weapons that I hope the show kind of tries to do.
All the time. It does this all the time. I'm surprised there aren't more pictures.
Right? Yeah.
I just love the brave top and bottom sword and double wielding those missile launchers, and then just Pandora's boxing gloves.
That's perfect.
It's pretty good.
Also, I'm glad you brought up the rockets, because every single post I feel like they're here.
Hey, they made a whole freaking accessory pack to feature those, okay? They are using those as much as they can.
I know. It's so funny to me that they exist at all.
Right?
And
here's this one weapon Decade used once.
We didn't make Kamen Rider G4, but we at least made his weapon.
Yeah, right.
And,
we're getting there.
They also nicely provided a group shot of all the main riders that have been made in Shodo. And then, thank you for Josh for pointing out that Deno is indeed in the picture. I missed that.
Yeah.
Just kind of just chilling out in the back.
Oh, he is. Wow, I didn't see.
He's doing that pose from the movie that I really like, and then just like swinging the sword around. That was a great moment. But yeah, it's cool to see. It's really cool to see all these guys together in Shodo form. Like, I had no idea that they'd even be getting to Decade or Double or Deno. Like, this is 2 times the amount of figures that I'd figure I'd see here. You know? Yeah. Also, why are they not to fully jump onto a different topic, but why are they featuring? Why are they taunting me with Kamen Rider Cyclone again? What do they want?
They wanted photos of the actual figure in action.
Oh, okay, that's it?
Well, yeah, because before all we got was like the stock photo.
I know, but also the stock photo came with depressing news, so I kind of just didn't want to see more of it.
Man.
Oh, what's this bit of text? Oh, it says, haha, Corey, screw you.
Oh, yeah, great. Oh, thanks.
I believe that.
But yeah, Ride 10. I forgot to mention, Grand Zio actually comes with the completely wrong weapon that I expected him to come with.
What did you expect?
Well, Zio Trinity comes with that new variation of the Saikyo Gireid. So it's like, oh, they're probably going to include the one with the other sticker with this one.
Oh, okay.
Instead, they included the combined sword.
Right. Huh. I mean,
it's a big sword, so it fits the character.
That variation might just come in the premium release and or Geo Oma form.
Maybe. I mean,
whatever. I don't know.
It's also like completely skippable because it's a painted version of something that was just molded in silver plastic previously.
That's true. They have set the precedent for that.
And did things like, we're just gonna include Zio's sword with blade armor because.
Yeah.
Wait.
Well, like they just included just the standard Zio sword.
Oh yeah.
Just a random duplicate.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Cyclone.
Cyclone. What is there to talk about, really? It looks good, but who's getting it? I'm gonna try, but...
Corey's gonna try to no avail and fail at all of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I got, I guess it's for the show topic later, but the Negadeno SIC Kiwami Tamashi, because I have a feeling I'm gonna need a fallback for that. There's no fallback for Cyclone.
I was about to say, get the
0.
SIC Cyclone. Oh.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But
thanks for the help.
Maybe.
The only thing about this that's interesting to me, apart from, the fact that Cyclone is this novel exclusive getting a second figure, it's the photos. Like, they did a Cyclone with Joker, and then the Cyclone with Fang. Those are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one was neat. They're doing that thing again where they where they do the decade Cyclone, Joker, but it's not Cyclone, Joker.
I was just about to mention that. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of right, but also not, just because.
Yeah. I would appreciate if they did release a Cyclone, Joker, though.
Oh, yeah, so you can do the Cyclone Fang.
Yeah. Fang works with, whole play pattern, so... And I love how, like, they strategically moved it so you can't see the belt.
Oh, yeah, it's like hide our shame.
Yeah.
don't look at it.
It's not Joker, okay? That's not what's in here.
It's accurate, alright? It's accurate.
But yeah, I think that's really about it for the news. I mean, Grangio, we saw that coming. So whatever comes next, I don't know. I mean,
probably his little Oma form from over quarter.
Yeah, but like I feel like it's when does that movie come out?
It's a summer movie, so July. It'll be out pretty soon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
and it's all stuff that like the assumption that me and Josh came up with previously was that it would just be the 3 movie writers and the Zio movie form.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And conveniently, that's all stuff that we knew about, so they can just reveal that whenever.
Yeah, I wonder when we're gonna get like the bomb drop on the mystery figure for Red Plus 2.
Did you see the preview images for next week's episode?
I didn't.
I did. I'm trying to remember them.
Am I gonna be very happy when I see them?
How do you feel about another Zio?
Oh, okay, yeah, I heard about it. Yeah. Okay, so he gets that like shiny.
It's basically just like a different chess piece, I guess. And head.
Is it the same guy? Is it the same?
It is.
Yep.
Oh, good.
He's coming back.
Is he evil again?
He's with the Time Jackers and was, so that is kind of.
And it's the name of the episode implies that there's some time shenanigans going on.
Okay, all right.
But regardless, the point I was making is just that Zio, another Zio 2. I wonder if that'll be in that wave.
Yeah. I highly doubt it.
It would kind of break up the theme of the another writer wave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know, like,
and I say that when I say that, assume that I'm going to be very sad if we don't get Aqua.
Right. So, and like it would undo the precedent that Ride Plus 2 has already set.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that that's really what if they do that, that's kind of dirty, but fine. I guess.
If they do another Geo 2 in a regular set?
Or like either another Geo or another Geo 2 in Ride Plus 2. Because we still have that one slot open.
Yeah. The only reason that they would have to keep it unknown at this point is just it would either be because they have waited this long without making a figure or because it's a big surprise.
Yeah. And I'm hoping Aqua's the surprise.
Yeah.
I need my wet boy. So yeah. that's it for the news. And now I kind of want to just shift topics into the, I guess, 3 podcast topics that we have. First up, Will.
Yeah.
You collect Shodo a little bit. I would know.
Less casually than most, but yes, I do.
Yeah. So, how'd you get in it? And what do you usually like plan to get out of Shodo? What is your end goal?
All right. Well, I got into Shodo mostly because of you. Because I had honestly never really heard of these figures before. I had never heard of them during X-Aid. And I know that, like, they had done some candy toy figures in the past, because I do have some. I have some of the Final Form Ride figures.
That I'm absolutely jealous of.
So I managed to get a handful of those a few years ago, just because I wanted some representations of riders, just old riders that I hadn't watched yet. And they're little transforming figures too, so I thought it was cool. So I just went ahead and picked those up, and then you started showing me Shodo stuff after we met, and I started looking into all these guys, and I'm like, this is kind of cool. It's like the gimmick figure line, but you kind of get more for less. It is a little bit annoying with like the sticker. The sticker thing like did kind of take me off guard, but then once I saw like that there are ways to like kind of fix it so it's not as big of an issue, or you know, that they don't peel as much or whatever. I think there's definitely a little charm to this figure, especially I think this year's Shodo in particular really kind of upped the game that the gimmick figure line wasn't doing, which is rider kick figures.
Definitely.
Shodo was doing a lot of stuff that I feel should have been in the main gimmick figure line. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me that they weren't using that 5-inch scale and that price point to make some really awesome like figures. And then over here you have Shodo like doing stuff, Shodo Chronicle Double and Deno and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, RKF has just been doing build and X-Aid stuff all year.
And it's basically Bandai Power Rangers minus the muscles.
Yeah, basically. Like I have RKF builds so far, and like I was totally planning on getting more of them, but I just feel like I get more out of Shodo than I do RKF this year.
I would agree.
Just because there's more options available. You know, with Shodo, they've done all the armors. You know, they've made an armor for all the riders, which is awesome. And RKF did like the first 3 or 4, burped, and then walked away. So, so yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think there's a charm to this figure line, and I definitely think it could be something that catches on more, and I think it is, because I think people are seeing the level of detail that is going into these figures as the years go on. Because I want to say they've definitely upped their game. Because I've been looking at some of the older figures. I was looking at, I think it was the Ghost ones, yesterday or something like that. I was like taking a look at those, and those are kind of lanky. They're like lanky boys, is what those look like.
I mean the Gon ones, the ones
the Gon ones, yeah. Those are interesting to say the least.
I have 2 of them. They're not that bad.
Yeah, I mean they don't look like they're horrible, but I mean I definitely think they've upped their game in terms of sculpt quality, you know, proportions and all that stuff. Given the size class of this figure, I think it's really impressive. So
yeah,
so it's just
I think that Zio is definitely not the start of that sort of trend with the main figures, where it's like, I can remember as far back as Gaim, it was like, oh, they're at least making some of these characters on premium Bandai, but then when you get to Drive, they're skipping a lot of the tires that Drive uses regularly, and then with Ghost, a few of them, they managed to get a lot done with Ghost. But then XA just kind of skipped a lot of stuff, and then Build skipped a lot of stuff, and then, I mean, Build is like the canonical example of that, because they skipped Cross Z and just went to Cross Z Charge.
Yeah.
Which is why I have that RKF figure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, it seems like in recent years, definitely, the Soto line has kind of taken the spotlight.
It's weird to me that, like, every line that becomes popular, it suddenly balloons up so far that the next line over sort of takes up the mantle of not necessarily being the most complete, but like, well, yeah, being the most complete and the most accessible. It was Figure Arts, and then it shifted to like the main gimmick line, and now I feel like there's this paradigm shift from the gimmick line to Soto.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird,
it must just be, it's smaller, so it's easier to make.
Yeah. And I feel like Soto pivoted itself correctly in, like, I assume, like, you know, gas prices, therefore plastic prices go up every year, and they have to navigate that somehow, and Soto decided, hey, why not we make one figure across two boxes that people buy? They're going to be getting the whole thing anyway, so we might as well, you know, split it up and make a better experience. And on top of that, I appreciate that in the blog, you can see them saying, like, hey, we know this didn't have too much, so we added this extra thing. Or, like, they're trying to give us value, even if when they can, they're doing their best, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not always, like, at the... as soon as the set comes out, but some definitely you'll notice, like, in later waves they'll include accessories for things that came out like months ago, and they don't have to do stuff like that, and that's definitely appreciated, and that's something I think, you know, like RKF and stuff like that could actually stand to do.
Yeah, and I was saying before, it seems like they can easily produce more stuff with the Soto. It's Zio's a good example of that, because they will just do things like, we decided to try out a different way for Gates to hold the bow, just because we had room to just experiment.
And, like, they just gave us Hibiki's drumsticks. Like, I don't think he used them at all. They just gave it to us. They were like, hey, you know, we figured the Hibiki armor doesn't look right without these, so we're just gonna make them. We're just gonna give these to you. Like, yeah, alright!
Yeah.
So
can't exactly replicate that with Zio's sword, so...
Yeah,
nope.
It looks a little weird.
Yeah. So yeah, cool. That's awesome. Do you have anything else you sort of wanted to say on the subject of getting into Soto, or?
I mean, in terms of, like, just like what I buy in Soto, I just try and get just kind of a representation for everything with Geo. You know, obviously he's got the whole, I have an armor for everything, so I just kind of want to have all the Heisei Riders armors represented and stuff like that. I'm not super completionist, because I know, I can already tell you, I think, was it with Grand Geo, this Grand Geo set? Or no, I think it was the set with Geo Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably only after that figure out of the entire case. You know,
really?
Yeah, because I don't need every single thing. Like, a lot of these Decade-esque forms and, like, the Decade Mighty Brothers thing, that doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything for me.
You mean you don't get fired up for a Kamen Rider kill bus?
Toot, beep, beep.
Yeah.
So, Will, what you're saying to me is that if I bought an extra set of that, you would gladly take that Geo off my hands and I could have the extra Decade stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Oh my god! All right, we're setting that up.
And you'll have 2 kill buses.
Yeah, that's fine by me. I've been waiting to pull the trigger on just another set, but I was like, what am I gonna do with an extra kill bus? What am I gonna do with an extra Geo Trinity? I just need those guys. But then it'll only leave me with an extra kill bus, and who doesn't need...
you could throw a kill bus in there too, why not?
Alright, okay, yeah, this is perfect.
Like,
oh my god.
That's how Corey and mine's friendship works, is he can always just pawn off his extra Shodo crap on me.
You can take my scraps.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, on that same subject, I recently picked up an extra gold and silver build. So, my scuffed one, if you still want it, is all yours.
Your scuffed one that isn't really scuffed, but yeah.
It's totally scuffed. I hate it, and I had to get another.
Right. Okay.
Wow, I was just making the joke that he's eating your scraps, but...
No,
that's definitely what's happening.
Well, that's
I mean,
also
I'm off the streets, so I'm used to it, you know.
Right, but that's also because my scraps are so complete, just due to the magnitude.
Yeah, it's because Corey feels the need to get an entire new set for something. Anyway, this isn't. I'm not gonna rip Corey on his own show. That's not fair.
Don't embarrass him.
I'm not gonna begrudge it. You bought the gray incorrect Gates bodies off of me when I only wanted the red ones. When I finally
I kept thinking about it, like thinking, I can repaint them. It'll bother me if I don't. And at this point, I don't care. Like I'll just be like, I know that's Gates, and that's all that matters.
That's perfect.
So, okay. Yeah, you know what my response was to the blog post that revealed the red Gates body. What? I just painted all mine.
Yeah, right? No, that seems like a reasonable response.
I posted them to Twitter and just said, I win.
I win, you guys got nothing on me. Suck it, Fies fans.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys know my stance on that already. But, yeah. So, thanks again, Will, for sharing your stuff about Shodo. Mm-hmm. Next up, unless you had anything else.
No, I don't think so. No? I'll probably
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
So, we'll move on to my topic since it's a little lighter, and I kind of want to leave off on Malunis' topic because I feel like it's very valuable for the people collecting Shodo. Mm-hmm. So, just want to save the best for last.
Really hyping that up.
Well, I mean, when you said it in the chat, I was like, oh, that's perfect. Now there's a reason to still have these duplicates. But anyway.
Okay, everyone maintain Corey's level of excitement for at least the next hour.
Look, okay, I get excited about the most mundane stuff about Shodo, so everyone temper your expectations.
We made a podcast on this, so this makes sense.
Yeah, it's the most mundane anything anyone could ever say about Shodo, but I love it. Anyway, I recently got a Nega Deno, a SIC Kiwami Tamashi Nega Deno. I kind of wanted to give my thoughts on it, and also just sort of let you in on how the really asinine circumstances through which I got this. I went to Anime Jungle in LA, in Little Tokyo, and I saw Negadeno in the display shelf, and I'm like, oh, that's perfect. I was just talking about it last week. This is made for me. I want it. It has a little accessory bag hanging off of it. It's got just about everything that I see in this, in my cursory evaluation of the packaging. It might be missing something, and then I look over, and I see SIC Kiwami Tamashi Hibiki, and I'm like, well, he doesn't have his Ongeki Boreka. One of them. Why is his hand open? Why is his hand Negadeno's? Dang it! Okay. Well, I'm sure someone can help me sort this out. So I call the dude over, and I'm like, hey, I want that purple dude in the back. And also, that other purple dude has his hand. Can I just get that? And, like, for some reason, that just, like, short-circuited his brain. He's like, let me talk to my supervisor. He grabs the figures, goes over there. Because I said, like, his hand, that detailing is the same as the other guy. That should be on him. It belongs to him.
He has one red hand and one black hand. Do the math.
Yeah, I know. And he comes back and he's like, alright, well, this little accessory bag has some option hands already. So, you know, right, but that open hand in there, that is not the one on the other guy. That is the opposite hand. I would like that. That belongs to him. And he's like, all right, well, we got these second hands, so we have to sell them as is. I'm sorry, man. I'm like, well, crap. I guess I'm walking away with both. And then, hey, and to be fair,
totally logical response from Corey.
Right? No, okay, but here's the thing. Here's my, think behind it. Den-O was like $13, right? That's perfectly reasonable for a complete SIC Kiwami Tamashii.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't. And then Hibiki, who was clearly incomplete. The only thing he came with was the Ongekibo Rekka in his hand that was molded there, and the wrong hand. So he was like $8. And I did the math. I looked online. It's about the same price as if I bought it online. Like one Nega Den-O is worth the two of these in person right now.
That checks out, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I'll get both. So,
two for the price of one.
I guess I have no, not even two. This is like one and maybe 75% of another. So 1.75 for the price of one. So I'm left here with an incomplete Hibiki who can stand next to my purple clear colors Kiwami Tamashii Hibiki for whatever reason. And also a complete Nega Den-O. This Nega Den-O, though, it's a lot of fun. I went back. It wasn't necessarily doing research on it, but like I wanted to catch some more reviews of SIC Kiwami Tamashii again, and like my go-tos are usually Vangelis because he has a very good visual style, and it gives me a lot more information than a lot of other people sort of with the same amount of time. So like the line retailed for about $10 a figure, which is like mind-blowing to me since these are easily like their current asking price right now in my mind. Like this feels like a $20 figure. This feels like it's steps above Shodo and Soto. It's like this feels like a full-on action figure. Like those guys are just sort of candy toys, but this is a figure. It's got so many joints, it's got so many swappable hands, so many accessories, and like the detail on these things, along with like the paint, not to mention that it's painted on the back. Like this feels like an art piece that is playable, and I don't know, I can't praise this thing enough. It is incredible and is definitely a serviceable substitute for a Nega Den-O if you can't get it in the lottery, because that's apparently a thing we have to do. So definitely keep your eyes out for this thing. This is something I can wholeheartedly recommend. Like any SIC Kiwami Tamashii that I've come into contact with has been just so much fun and just such a joy.
And
maybe not this Hibiki.
If the kind of design style doesn't really work for you as representing the character, Zio makes it so you can just kind of pretend those are another writers.
That's true, but I will say that at a glance these are pretty good.
Oh yeah, like I've also got the Hibiki, and that makes a very good Hibiki.
It does. It really does. And like the sculpted detail you know, like, it's only if you look really close you could really appreciate it, but from afar, in a display, this, I mean, it doesn't look like those sort of extra added SIC details are, like, too present, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I still think this is perfect. Like, it functions as both a very good figure representation of that figure, of that character, but also, like, just picking it up, playing with it, and being an entirely great art piece. Like, I can't get over, like, the compound eyes, too, that it has. At this scale, I can't fathom how this was $10 back in the day. I don't know. This is a lovely piece of history for me. So if you see it, get it. Definitely get it. You will not be disappointed.
And I kind of wish that they kept doing Kiwami Tamashi. I don't know if they're still around.
They are not. Sadly.
I would love to see some of the more recent ones as those figures. Like, you've seen the Forze, probably.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Just that wonderful, bulky boy.
Mm-hmm. I could easily see that running for like $20-$30 as an SIC Kiwami Tamashi. You know?
I suppose it depends on what accessories they include, because Kiwami Tamashi definitely just gives you more bare basics.
That's true, but
whereas,
then again...
Whereas things like their Imagine from Den-O, like the SIC ones would be like, Kintaros would just come with one of the weights that he would lift in an episode.
Right, but on the flip side of that, Decade came with an entire other, like, chest and arm piece, or 2 arm pieces to make complete. Decade complete. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that was neat. And also, if you need those, like, little other extra accessories, specifically for Den-O, the Den-Liner set, for SIC Kiwami Tamashi, it comes with, like some coffees, for Urataros, Kintaros, and Ryutaros to hold, because it comes with those guys as well.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that was a set.
Yeah, no, it is, like, some of my favorite things to gawk at. Like, that is not necessarily my grail, because it's pretty easy to get. But, like, one day, I'll have a little, maybe not enough sleep that day and be like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna own this now. And then buy it. Like, one of these days, it's gonna be mine. And, like...
And you have Shodo Chronicle to display it in.
Yes, I have Shodo to display it in. Because, which I haven't said yet, but, like, these scale perfectly with Shodo.
Yeah.
Sure, the proportions are a little off, but, like, head to head, they are the same height.
Yeah.
These are perfect.
That actually was a pleasant revelation recently when I got up my SIC Kiwami Tamashi Hibiki.
Yeah.
Because, like, I remember back when I got it, Motion Revive is what I had, and I just thought, it's a little bit of a shame that the Kiwami Tamashi figures are a little bit taller than them. Then when I put it next to Shodo, they got taller.
They did. But then it becomes depressing when you try to pair YU-DO next to it, and then you're like, oh, well.
Just take the wins where you can, Corey.
Yeah.
Just take it where you can.
Okay, fine. Yeah, anyway, SIC, Kiwami Tamashi, Den-O, Nega Den-O. Buy it. Get it. However you can. Do it. It's worth it.
Do it.
It's worth the $22 asking price, especially if you get a bunk Hibiki with it. So, yeah. And you know how you had to, like, replace the heads of his Ongekibo Rekka?
Yeah.
With the stationary? Someone glued it on!
Oh, wow.
It also doesn't come with the option parts for the stored version. So,
man.
Why are you the way that you are?
I know.
Whoever owned that before Corey.
Right. But yeah. So, that was that. That's my piece. I've said it. So, Malunis.
Yeah, speaking of Hibiki's hand, I have done some things involving swappable hands in preparation for Ride Plus. Because as you know, Ride Plus comes with the Future Riders plus Decade, and if you look at the option set, there's a pair of open hands for Decade.
Yes, and that's it.
But they all have swappable hands, so the Bandai Candy Toy blog shows what all the figures look like with Decade's hands, and it's convenient that all the characters in that set have black hands. They just have like a different detailing on top.
Well, we don't need to talk about that. They have black hands. It counts.
So I was looking at this comparison that this one toy customizer did, where they basically just showed their custom of the Future Riders next to the official release, and I realized, with their official quiz, they have some open hands that look like X8 hands, and then I remembered I've got a spare body of one of the X8 forms, because that's how I ended up getting the armors, is just getting the armor with a figure.
Yeah.
And I realized, I could just paint the top of this gold, and hey, now I have open hands for quiz.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also...
Oh, I was just going to say, if you're lazy enough, because Shodo doesn't always paint the backs of the hands, you can just leave it alone. And now you have quiz hands.
Yes, but I also have Gundam markers, and I'm stupid.
That's true. That's fair. Mostly that last part, but definitely that first part.
Definitely. Yeah. Yes. It's not bravery, it's... Anyway.
It's stupidity.
Anyway, I also had this thought of, you know what? Of the extras that I have, I also have the red armor body gates that I threw in the closet and forgot about.
Mm-hmm.
Because I already had... Yeah, we don't have to go over that.
Just pretend it doesn't exist, and it doesn't exist.
Exactly. I think that's the way I described it in the review. Like, Corey asked me what I do with it, and I just said, I just toss it in the closet and forget about it. Anyway, those work really well as Kikai hands, because they have that same sort of detailing. It's just that the armor on top is flat, so I just took a knife and just made it flat and then painted it gold. Yeah, and now I have Kikai hands.
I mean, that's... So, that first tip is something I really like, because it's something that at least American fans who are collecting this are probably going to run into, and they're probably already going to have in their arsenal. So that's great. The next one, the Kikai one, it's a little bit of doing, but you can fudge it, and it's perfectly serviceable.
Yeah.
I personally am not gonna do that one, but that first one is just yes, that's brilliant. It just you're buying that extra thing anyway, and if you're a soda collector in the States or just anywhere that isn't Japan, you're gonna end up with extras. And the fact that one of those, you could tell yourself that you're gonna sell them all you want. You're never gonna do it. And
where have I heard that before? That sounds just so familiar.
Oh yeah, just so familiar.
Oh yeah. On that note, guess what? I opened up the extras that I have of Woze's armor and Quiz armor. Now I have display stands.
that is pretty smart. You don't normally have enough display stands for everything, especially when EX stuff comes out without display stands, and when Ride Pluses come out without enough display stands. So
yeah,
that's definitely helpful.
I was going to say, this is an issue specifically for Zio, if people aren't collecting the other lines, because Ride Plus just gives you one display stand and 4 figures.
Yeah.
And the last thing was, what am I going to do with Shinobi? Well, I was thinking, because we were talking about case assortments, if I have 2 accessory packs, I could probably use 1 pair of hands for Decade, 1 for that. But then I remembered Shinobi uses a ghost body as the basis of the design. And we've got a ghost body coming up with a Decade armor ghost form.
Yeah.
So all I'm going to do is just get an extra of that set.
It's perfect.
It's the perfect game.
So perfect.
It's called the perfect game.
So yeah, if you're collecting Soto, these are it's not necessarily money-saving tips, but, like, you spent the money already.
It's definitely not that.
Oh, definitely not.
It's spend more money.
But
it's continue your bad habits.
Yes. But, you know, I'd wager that you're already getting these anyway. Yeah. You might as well actually open them and enjoy them. You know? And there's that added layer of enjoyment, you know, of, oh, this could go here, you know? Like, this actually belongs elsewhere. It can belong elsewhere. There is utility in the thing that I thought there wasn't going to be. And I absolutely love that, especially, like, you know, because I have so many of these. It's great to have extra incentive, or, you know, to get extras. So I don't know, it's great.
And I will also say that as someone who likes painting, as someone who also likes creating things, it just kind of naturally worked out that I could make use of some of these extras. Like, I'm going to repaint X8 armor into Maximum Gamer.
Oh.
Or, like, I'm just gonna see if I can get a photo to just show Will. I ended up with the spare regular gates, and I basically just ended up making a trooper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. While he gets that, I think that just about does it for this episode. Right? So. Yeah. We all good? All right. Cool. So, guys, a few housekeeping items before we take off. Will, you are on the streets.
Yes,
you have your own channel. Will J Coe. You have your own Twitter. Those links will be in the description down below. But this show, we got greenlit by the higher ups.
We're gonna end up on the streets.
Yes, we're moving to the streets, guys. We are moving this show from its own channel over to RRR The Streets. It's going to be starting let's see, on the 8th of next month. So July 8th. Keep your eyes peeled for the first episode of Soto Pop on the streets. And we will be posting it both on this channel and on the other channel, just so if, like, you guys forget or something else, we'll still alert you and let you know. We'll also remind you next week, anytime before the changeover. And that doesn't mean there isn't going to be, like, there's going to be less of a Soto focus from us, because we're also going to be bringing some other Soto-related content to the streets. We are properly infecting the streets with Soto. So,
yeah, you know how it is. It was going to happen eventually. We talk about it enough. So.
Exactly. So, yeah, guys, get excited for that. We've been moved up and greenlit. So
moved up and greenlit by the host of this show. Yeah, no, but that's exciting. I'm glad we're doing this, because it's something that makes sense. It's really not that big a change on it at the end of the day, because all it is just a new channel for you guys to check out every week. But I do hope that will encourage some of you guys that haven't listened to any of our other stuff that we've done before. You know, maybe hear us talk about some other things every now and then on some of the other programming that we're going to have on RRR Infinity. So,
yeah. So, I look forward to seeing you guys hop on over from here to over there. Anyways, guys, do you have anything else you wanted to say from this episode?
No. I like gold.
Great. Guys, thanks for watching. Keep it juicy.
And that's a wrap.
Okay, just no one say anything. Okay.
You so